Hello, Emily Goodwin here with Writers of the Future, and we are talking to fans around the world. And today we are talking to Kizer Nix. Kizer, welcome.
Thank you, Emily. I'm glad to be here with all the other people around the world.
Yeah, it's great. And so tell us a little bit about yourself and where we're talking to you.
So, my name is Kizer Nix. I'm based from Texas. I'm actually in Odessa, Texas today, where I grew up. So, I'm in my family's house. I have, it's like every Texas house. You have a few slot machines, a ukulele in the background. So, just horses outside. So, we're ready to go.
That's awesome.
I'm also a writer. I know I think that if you looked at Writers of the Future, a lot of the people who read the contest are writers who are trying to be part of the book at some point. And so I'm definitely fall into that category.
Nice.
So I'm a younger writer, maybe not so much on the younger side anymore, but still a young writer. And as far as my profession, an amateur writer trying to learn from reading the book and eventually want to be someone who's in the book. So
Well, good.
that is a little bit about me.
That's awesome. Well, that's a good way to go about it. That's how a lot of people have had their success. So the more you read,
Exactly.
the more you write, the better you're going to get.
That is true. That's the number one rule is you have to write.
Exactly. And so tell us what you just finished reading recently.
So my most recent book I've been reading is Writers of the Future, Volume 36. So
Yay!
yes, I have my copy. I have dog-eared pages in it on some of my favorite stories. And yes, I'm one of those people who actually writes in the book. So I underline passages that I like. So
That's
I know
great.
that's a cardinal sin to some people, but not to me.
Yeah. Well, it's your book.
That's
So,
true.
did you have a favorite story?
I have a couple of favorite stories. My favorite story is a story called Catching My Death
Oh,
by
yeah.
J.L. George. Really like that story. It was different. I think that probably like Dave and the other editors, something that's different kind of catches my attention. I think that the story got me. A good story to me is one that really catches you from the very first sentence. And the very first sentence of this book is Jacob caught his death yesterday. I mean, from right then, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buckle up and take this ride. So
Great.
I was ready to go. Another story that I really like is a story by Leah Ning called Yellow and Pink.
Mm-hmm.
And similar to that story, Catching My Death, just immediately, got me hooked. And I just, read it in one sitting. So that's one of the things I love about Writers of the Future is, unlike, it's not like I'm reading, a, Tolstoy book where it's going to take me months to finish it. I can finish this story in just one sitting.
Yeah.
So you go through a whole world and you get to go on a big adventure just in one sitting. So that's great.
Yeah, and something for everyone.
Big variety of different stories. I think for people like me, we don't only just read this book, we study this book. People who are on the forum, we're all reading it. We're all studying the forum. We talk to each other in the forum about different stories that we liked, why we liked them. We go as far as like how many words each story has. So we kind of really dive into this book.
Wow, you're hardcore. I love it. Great. And then how about the artwork?
Oh yeah,
You have a
the
favorite
artwork.
one of those?
I love the artwork. I have a couple of favorite paintings in here. The painting from Molting season
Oh, yeah.
here by, make sure I say the name, Daniel Bitton.
Mm-hmm.
Another favorite story as far as the artwork. I mean, I love the story too, is On Lee Stolen Sky.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
love it. So obviously if you're watching this, you probably have the book too, or,
I
so
should have the book.
yeah.
Great. And so you're a writer, and so I heard that you did the Writers of the Future online workshop.
I did do the online workshop,
How
so,
did that go?
or I am in the process of doing it.
Okay.
So I've been in Dave Farland's class in the Apex Writing Group, done the My Story Doctor. So this is to me like another step in doing that. And I think that one of the things that we look at, as far as the workshop is I think in the age of self-publishing, there's a lot of tendency to just, maybe just like, okay, well, I'm just going to write for myself. I'm just going to do what I like. And, no matter what anybody else likes, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for a lot of us, we still want to write at a, professional level. I think what the workshop does is it, in addition to reading the book, getting to know the people who are also competing to try to get in this contest and try to get into the anthology ultimately. I mean, what it really teaches you is how to write for a publication. Mm-hmm. So, and you've got people, Dave Wolverton, now Farland, mm-hmm. He was winner in season or volume 3.
Yeah.
So, you have someone who's been in your shoes teaching you how to win this contest. Yeah. And then you have other professionals. Everybody knows Orson Scott Card, Tim Powers. I mean, you have professional writers who are telling you how to do it. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Nice.
And, they're giving you videos so you can see them face to face. Also, if you're in a place where the video is not working so well, you could even tap below the video and it gives you the transcription. Yeah. So you can just read it. And so it's a really helpful tool for people like me. And I know there's a lot of us out there.
That's great. And how about the essays? How did those go for you?
Essays are great as well. I've read, you have essays from people, even, L. Ron Hubbard himself, telling about, just the process of being a professional writer, and how to be productive, how to look at, just getting the most out of your efforts. So everything has been really helpful. And, I'm still in the process of going through it, but it's something I'm going to continue. And, I don't look at it. I know there is an option where you can click on there to say finish. To me, I'm actually not clicking those because I'm going to continually go through it in a cycle.
If you click on finish, it doesn't disappear for you. You can go back and forth as many times as you want.
It does. No, you're right.
The whole course, you can still log back in after you're done and got your certificate and still go back and go through them.
No, you're right. You're right.
So
it's like a mental thing for me to just say, I'm never finished. I'm just going to keep doing this over and over again.
Well, good. Number of times over, I think it might help
Sure.
as well. Great. All right. And so you've entered, from what I hear, for the first time to Writers of the Future?
Yes. I was a first-time enterer for Q2 this year.
Great. So you're waiting to hear back on that one then, huh?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back. I'm assuming it'll be sometime this summer. So, it really, helps, I think, like a lot of writers or artists, anybody, I know there's illustrators who are out there doing the contest as well. It helps having a deadline because I know that, writers have a tendency, and I started as an artist. I was an art school student, many years ago. So we have a tendency to procrastinate unless we have a deadline. Yeah. So, having that deadline every quarter, I think really teaches us how to be a professional.
Yeah. Well, that was something that, like Kevin J. Anderson, he used to enter every quarter.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how many, a lot of times. I think it was 12 before he pro'd out. But he still says, it gave him discipline and taught him how to, meet those deadlines. And now he's a judge for the contest and he's like doing amazing. But it helps, yeah.
I listen to the podcast as well. So
okay.
I listen to all those interviews with everybody on there. So, and there's a lot of previous winners on there. And I think that one of the things that's unique about Writers of the Future is that the people who are in the book are accessible. And just like with the workshop, you can, get to know these people. So Leah Ning, she's on the forum. If you go to the forum, Leah's on there. Wolf Moon is on there. There's a lot of, I know Martin Shoemaker's on there. So there's a lot of people who have won the contest in the past. And, if you can get to know these people and ask them questions. And so it's a great, just all around teaching tool. If you use, it's not just a book, it is a book. It's a great book, but it's also just it's basically like a university of writing.
Wow. Well, for anybody watching, you can find any of these things. You can find the forum, you can find the online writing workshop, the books, all of it is at writersofthefuture.com. All right, Kizer, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. And, best of luck on your writing. And, hopefully you hear back soon. And good luck on that.
Yeah, thank you, Emily. And thanks to Writers of the Future. We appreciate it.